You're born in the heart of the African savanna, buried deep in a den, surrounded by your siblings. The den smells of damp earth and stale air, a grim reminder of the harsh world that awaits you. Your mother's nowhere to be found because in the honey badger world, survival is a solo game from the very start. You're tiny, blind, and completely defenseless, but it's not like anyone's going to come to your rescue. You're on your own now, and no one's coming to save you. Your first task? Dig yourself out of that den, scratch and claw your way to freedom. The first few moments of your life are a blur of confusion and instinct. You've never seen light, and yet your body already knows what it has to do. Your legs are weak and uncoordinated, but with each futile attempt to push against the earth, you feel a surge of determination. Every muscle in your body is telling you to keep going. You can hear your siblings squirming behind you, all of you desperate to be the first to reach the world outside. The air in the den is thick with anxiety, but you know that every second spent inside this cramped hole is a second closer to death. The outside world is just beyond your reach, but the journey to get there is filled with obstacles. Your claws aren't sharp yet, and your teeth aren't strong enough to tear through the earth. The ground is packed tightly, but somehow, you manage to break through. You wiggle out into the world, gasping for air, and it hits you, the cold, dry wind of the savanna. It smells of dust, grass, and danger. You blink in the sunlight for the first time, still blind, but sensing everything through the vibrations in the air. You're not fully aware of what's around you, but your body tells you to stay low. The world outside is wild and untamed, and it's already looking for dinner. There's no welcome party here. You barely have a chance to take in your surroundings when the shadows seem to close in around you. Lions, hyenas, and even birds of prey. Everything is a threat. They're all watching you, hoping you make a mistake. But don't worry, you've got something they don't. Pure, unrelenting aggression. It's how you'll make it through life. Attack first, ask questions later. That's your motto. You've just taken your first breath, but already, you know that it's not enough. You can't afford to sit idly by. The savanna is unforgiving. From day one, you're thrust into a battle for survival. As you lie low, your body tenses, alert for any sign of movement. The ground feels alive beneath you. Your senses, though still underdeveloped, are already working in overdrive. You can hear the rustling of leaves, the distant roar of predators, and the faint scurry of smaller animals nearby. But none of this matters. Your survival depends on one thing: your ability to fight back. Your first instinct is to seek out your mother, but she's nowhere to be found. She's off hunting, preparing to feed herself, leaving you to fend for yourself. For now, you stick close to the safety of your den, your body trembling with every sound that drifts in the wind. The first few days of your life pass in a blur of hunger and fear. You don't even know what food is yet, but your instincts tell you to keep searching. You'll learn fast that food is never guaranteed here. If you don't find it, you might not survive. As you get older, your body starts to change. Your legs grow stronger, and you start to develop the muscles needed for the fast, aggressive movements that will define your life. You're getting faster, sharper. You've already learned to move quietly, hiding in the tall grass, blending in with the environment. But despite your growing abilities, the world around you never stops being dangerous. Every day is a new challenge, a new threat. The world's predators are always lurking, waiting for you to slip up. Your first true test of survival comes when you cross paths with a hungry hyena. It's big, powerful, and way more dangerous than you are. For the first time, you feel real fear, but that fear drives you to act. You don't hesitate. You bare your teeth, puff up your chest, and charge, showing the hyena that you're not a victim, you're a fighter. The hyena retreats, unwilling to take on a foe that might just be crazy enough to fight back. In that moment, you realize something profound. You are not just a victim of your circumstances. You are a survivor, and the savanna is your battlefield. Every fight, every challenge will test your limits, but each victory brings you closer to mastering the art of survival. You don't have the luxury of being weak. Strength is your only ally, and it's the only thing that will keep you alive. Welcome to the real world, kid. You're in it now. Your first few days are spent learning the most important lesson in the honey badger's life. Nothing's safe. You can't trust anyone. Right from the start, you realize the savanna isn't a friendly place. There's no soft nursery or maternal guidance here. Instead, it's a world filled with hidden dangers that could snatch you away in the blink of an eye. And if you don't learn to protect yourself, you won't last long. You're small, but that doesn't matter right now. Your instincts are sharper than your size would suggest. Your first meals come from small, unsuspecting creatures, insects, rodents, and even the occasional snake. Every meal makes you stronger, but the real challenge is understanding that survival isn't about getting full, it's about constantly being on alert. As you begin to explore the world around you, you quickly realize that you have to be constantly on the move. The grasslands seem endless, but so do the dangers. Foxes prowl nearby, birds of prey circle overhead, and even larger predators like lions and hyenas roam the area. They're all on the hunt. And while you might be small compared to them, you're not going to let that stop you. By the time you're a few weeks old, you start getting a feel for the land. The world seems more familiar now, but the risks are still everywhere. The open savanna is no place for a baby honey badger. But you're not about to let that stop you. You've learned to keep your head down, to blend into your surroundings. You learn how to dodge predators, find food, and take shelter in burrows or dense vegetation when danger strikes. You're becoming quicker, smarter, and better at sensing threats, but you've also begun to realize that survival is about more than just being fast. It's about being relentless. You've already inherited one of the most valuable traits of a honey badger: fearlessness. When you're confronted with a predator, you don't flinch. You might be smaller, but you're not afraid to fight back. Whether it's a fox trying to get the best of you or a larger animal attempting to chase you away, you'll stand your ground. You might not be strong enough to overpower them, but you're quick to react and always looking for an opportunity to turn the tables. Your claws, sharp and deadly, are just as useful for defending yourself as they are for hunting. But the savannah isn't just filled with predators. It's also a land where resources are scarce, and food is never guaranteed. You quickly realize that finding food is a battle in itself. Sometimes you have to outsmart your prey before you can get close enough to catch it. As a honey badger, you're opportunistic. So if you find something that looks promising, you go after it with everything you've got. Your tenacity is what makes you a skilled hunter, and your instincts guide you through the process. You might not be able to catch every prey, but every failure is a lesson, and every success brings you closer to mastering survival. By the time you reach a few months old, you're learning the rhythms of the savannah. The sun rises and sets, but the dangers never sleep. You've begun to recognize the sounds of different animals, the distant calls of birds, the rustle of leaves in the wind, and the quick movements of small rodents running through the grass. The more you pay attention to the subtle clues of the environment, the better equipped you are to respond to whatever comes your way. But no matter how much you learn, there's always something else to be cautious about. The world around you is vast, and with each step, you face a new challenge. As a honey badger, you've already learned that survival isn't a luxury, it's a fight. Every day is a battle, and every day you win, you're one step closer to becoming the fierce, relentless creature the world will come to know you as. You don't have time to rest. You don't have time to hesitate. Life in the savannah isn't kind, but if you want to survive, you have to keep moving. You've got the instincts, the strength, and the ferocity to make it. And though it's a harsh world, it's your world. You've just got to be willing to fight for it. By the time you reach your juvenile years, you've grown a lot stronger and faster. Your senses are sharper and your legs are sturdy enough to take you across the savannah with ease. You've spent countless days dodging predators, scavenging for food, and honing your instincts. Now, you're no longer the small, vulnerable creature that used to be at the mercy of the bigger animals. You've become a force to be reckoned with, and you've got the scars to prove it. The world around you is no longer just a place of survival, it's your domain. You now know the ins and outs of the savannah. You've learned which areas are safe and which ones are prime hunting grounds. You've memorized the places where the best food can be found, and you've begun to understand the rhythms of the land, where the prey moves when the predators lurk, and how to use the terrain to your advantage. But with power comes responsibility. As your strength grows, so does the number of creatures that want to take advantage of you. You've learned the hard way that being a honey badger doesn't make you invincible. While you're no longer the small, helpless animal you once were, there are still predators bigger and stronger than you, and sometimes you'll have to fight for your survival. It's one thing to survive, but it's another to defend your space and your territory. Your reputation precedes you, and when you step into an area, everyone knows who you are. But that doesn't always stop bigger animals from trying to challenge you. Whether it's a lion, a leopard, or even another honey badger, you'll face battles for dominance. The world doesn't care that you're tough, it cares that you can hold your ground. And you've learned that more often than not, you have to fight. No hesitation, no retreat. You face your enemies head-on, using your quick reflexes, sharp claws, and strong jaws. You've been in enough fights to know that sometimes you win with sheer determination. It's about more than just muscle. It's about proving that you are a force to be reckoned with. But it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. As you grow stronger, your role in the food chain changes. You're no longer just a scavenger, you've become a hunter. And that means hunting bigger prey, birds, small mammals, even the occasional goat. You've learned how to stalk your prey silently, how to use your surroundings to your advantage, and how to strike at the perfect moment. Every successful hunt brings a sense of accomplishment. You've gone from being a creature that survives off scraps to one that can take down prey of your own. The savannah is your playground now. You've carved out a place for yourself, a small kingdom in this vast, dangerous land. The other animals may be bigger, but you know that you have something they don't. The will to fight, the desire to survive, and the power to take on anything that threatens you. The world might be full of dangers, but you're no longer afraid. You've got the strength, the skill, and the heart of a true predator. You've learned the art of the hunt, the tactics of survival, and the price of strength. But one thing you've never forgotten is this: life in the wild is a constant battle, and you're ready for whatever comes next. Every day you grow stronger, faster, and more determined. You're not just a survivor, you're a force that the savannah will remember. You've made it. You're no longer just a honey badger trying to survive. You've reached adulthood, and now it's time for you to take your place at the top of the food chain. You've already faced off with predators and survived. Now you're ready to defend your territory and hunt bigger, more dangerous prey. At this point, you've learned to be patient. In your earlier days, it was all about reaction, rushing to get the food before someone else did. But now you've figured out that true strength lies in calmness. You've come to understand the value of camouflage, of blending in, of striking when the moment is right. You know that silence can be as deadly as speed, and your mind has become as sharp as your claws. The days of running around blindly are over. Now you're a master of stealth, a skilled predator. Every move you make is calculated, and every action serves a purpose. Your life is a constant balance between hunting, protecting, and surviving. It's not always easy. Sometimes the food is scarce, and the competition is fierce. But that's life in the wild, and you've learned to adapt. You understand that the world is full of danger, but you also know that danger is just another challenge to overcome. You have faced lions, leopards, and even other honey badgers. You've never backed down, and now you stand firm in your place in the food chain. But it's not just about survival anymore. As you mature, your sense of purpose becomes clearer. You've come to understand the importance of territory. You've marked your spot, learned its boundaries, and now it's yours to protect. Any animal that enters your domain is a potential threat, and you know that you'll have to defend it, even if that means fighting. The older honey badgers have taught you this, the importance of standing your ground. The savannah doesn't care about your size or strength. It cares about your willingness to fight for what's yours. Your first real challenge comes when you encounter another male. He's bigger, stronger, but you're faster, more agile. You've spent years honing your skills, learning how to use your size to your advantage. The battle isn't about raw power, it's about strategy. You know that. You've learned to outlast your opponents, to tire them out, to make them think they're winning, and then to strike when they least expect it. It's a tactic that works more often than not. The other male might be stronger, but you know the savannah and you know how to fight. The fight is fierce, filled with claws and teeth, but in the end, it's your quick thinking and determination that wins the day. You've held your ground and you've proved that you're the alpha. The other male retreats, and you stand victorious. But this victory is just a small part of the bigger picture. The savannah is always changing and there will always be new challenges to face. Now that you've earned your place, it's time to find a mate. It's a natural progression, a part of the cycle. You fought for your territory, for your food, and now you'll fight to pass on your genes. But mating isn't as simple as finding the nearest female. There's competition for her attention, and you know that you'll have to prove yourself worthy. It's not just about strength, it's about endurance, resilience, and the ability to fight for what you want. You've spent your whole life doing that. The process is quick, efficient. No elaborate courtship rituals, no long-lasting romance. You get the job done, and then it's over. Your mate leaves, and you're left to continue with your life. But this is the cycle of the wild. You're a honey badger, fearless, relentless, and most importantly, alive. The next generation will carry on your legacy, and you'll keep doing what you do best, surviving, thriving, and defending your place at the top of the food chain. As the years go by, you begin to slow down. Your once boundless energy is no longer there. The battles you fought, the territory you claimed, it all takes a toll on your body. But you've lived a good life. You've earned your place in the savannah. And when the time comes, you'll pass on the mantle to the next generation, knowing that the fight will continue, as it always does. You are a honey badger, relentless, fearless, and always alive.